So here we are, folks, days away from the start of the 2025 NBA playoffs. And let me tell you, this feels different. The buzz, the energy, the stakes. And now, with unexpected developments like Maxi Kleber trending upward, everything seems to be shifting. The Lakers have been flying a bit under the radar after that massive Luka Doncic trade, which naturally stole all the headlines. But now we're seeing the real picture start to form. Let's talk deeper about Maxi Kleber's role and how it could evolve. It's easy to forget just how important a versatile big can be in a deep playoff run. Kleber brings a mix of defensive IQ, length, and spacing that few other bigs off the bench can offer, especially for this current Lakers roster. He's not going to block 5 shots a game or put up 20 points, but that's not the point. He's a glue guy. He stretches the floor. He plays positionless defense. He makes the smart rotations. And when the game slows down in the playoffs, those are the kinds of players who quietly swing games. Think about this. Let's say Kleber becomes available by Game 4 or 5. Do the Lakers trust him enough to throw him into the fire against a team like Minnesota, who is known for their size and physicality? It's possible. Especially if Gobert and Naz Reid start bullying the smaller Lakers lineup down low. Suddenly, having a 6 feet 10 inches floor spacing defender who's playoff tested becomes a lot more appealing. And speaking of playoff tested, Kleber has been there. He's played meaningful postseason minutes in Dallas. He's been Luka Doncic's teammate during deep runs in the Western Conference. There's chemistry there. You think that doesn't matter in April and May? It absolutely does. Let's go back in time a little and revisit that Luka trade. The blockbuster. The one that shook the entire NBA. We all remember it because it wasn't just about what the Lakers gained in Luka. It was about what they gave up and who they quietly picked up in the process. Kleber was seen as salary filler at the time. But what if Rob Pelinka and the front office saw something more? What if they knew that, in the right situation, Kleber could actually contribute? Some insiders think that might be exactly the case. Could this be one of those sneaky acquisitions that suddenly looks genius in the postseason? And by the way, how many times have we seen that before? Remember Markieff Morris in the bubble run? No one thought twice about him until he started hitting clutch threes and defending multiple positions. Kleber could be this year's version of that. I'm not saying he's going to be the difference between a championship and a first-round exit, but I'm saying he could swing a game. And in the playoffs, sometimes that's all it takes. Now shifting gears just slightly, let's talk LeBron James. Because this is where it gets even crazier. The man is about to enter his 22nd postseason. That's not just a number. That's an era. LeBron is literally the bridge between generations. He's played playoff basketball against Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce, and now he's going to war with Anthony Edwards and Jaden McDaniels. The longevity is mind-blowing. And yet, somehow he's still this impactful. Still this vital to his team's success. Still drawing double teams, still controlling the pace of the game. And the part that's maybe most encouraging. He's healthy. Fully healthy. At 40 years old. That alone should give Lakers fans goosebumps. I know there's always skepticism. Can he hold up? Can his body survive a long playoff run? And those are fair questions. But let's not forget, last year LeBron played through a torn tendon in his foot. This year, no such issues. He's looked spry. He's looked locked in defensively. And if the regular season was any indication, we might be getting vintage playoff LeBron once again. And speaking of vintage, let's talk about something Coach Dre said that kind of flew under the radar. He mentioned that LeBron has been setting the tone defensively in practices ever since Luka arrived. That's not nothing. That tells you he's bought in. And when LeBron buys in defensively, it changes everything. The rest of the roster follows. The communication improves. The rotations get tighter. That's how you build a championship-caliber defense. Now, what about Luka Doncic? Oh man, this is where it gets even juicier. Because for all the talk about how LeBron's aging and Anthony Davis's health and the lack of size, what everyone seems to be sleeping on is this. Luka is fully unleashed. He's not just an elite talent anymore. He's entering his prime. He's in phenomenal shape. He's got a chip on his shoulder. And for the first time in his NBA career, he has a real, structured system around him. Think about that. In Dallas, Luka was doing everything. He was the offense, the playmaker, the scorer, the shot creator, the go-to guy. And while he's still all of those things in Ella, now he's got options. He's got LeBron on the wing, Reeves spotting up, right, crashing the boards, Dorian Finney-Smith defending the opposing team's best player. Suddenly, Luka's not doing it all himself. That's dangerous. Let me pose this question. Is it possible we're about to see the best version of Luka Doncic we've ever seen? A version that has experience, support, and motivation all working together? That's what some insiders are saying. And you know what? I believe it. Now let's go deeper on the Timberwolves matchup. Everyone keeps talking about Gobert and Ant and Naz Reid. And don't get me wrong, that's a great team. They're physical. They rebound like crazy. They defend. But there are cracks. And if there's a team that knows how to exploit cracks in a defense, it's the Lakers. Gobert, for all his size, struggles to defend in space. You put him in pick and roll against Luka and LeBron, that's barbecue chicken. If the Lakers can get Gobert into early foul trouble, and they will try, suddenly the Wolves are scrambling. Do they go small? Do they put Naz Reid on Luka? On AD? That's a mismatch every time. And don't sleep on Austin Reeves. Quietly, he's having one of the most efficient seasons of any guard in the league. Shooting lights out from deep, making smart plays, defending at a high level. He might be the X factor in this entire series. If he continues this level of production, the Lakers' offense is going to be almost impossible to stop. Same with Rui Hachimura. There's something about Rui in the playoffs. Last year, he turned into an absolute killer from mid-range, and now he's added the corner three to his game. The versatility is wild. He can switch onto multiple defenders, take smaller players into the post, or space out and keep defenses honest. If Rui plays 25-plus minutes a night, the Lakers are in great shape. Now let's go back to something subtle, J.J. Redick's coaching. People question the hire when it happened. He's never coached before. He's just a podcast guy. But let's give him some credit. This team is connected. There's movement. There's chemistry. And most importantly, there's buy-in. Redick has them playing unselfish basketball. And in the playoffs, that goes a long way. He's also been clever with lineups. Expect some surprises. He might go ultra small. He might run LeBron at the 5. Or maybe, just maybe, we'll see Maxi Kleber in a closing lineup if he's ready. Imagine that, a closing lineup of Luka, Reeves, LeBron, Rui, and Kleber. That's a nightmare for defenses. Spacing, playmaking, defense, it's all there. So where does this leave us? We're staring down one of the most fascinating first-round matchups in recent memory. The Lakers, older, experienced, top-heavy, versus the Wolves, younger, athletic, deep. On paper, it's a coin toss. But momentum, that's on the Lakers' side. And with the surprise potential return of Maxi Kleber, LeBron's health, and Luka rounding into full MVP form, the Lakers might just be peaking at the perfect time. But what do you think about all of this? Are the Lakers sneaky contenders heading into the playoffs? Could Maxi Kleber actually swing a postseason game for LA? And is Luka about to take that final leap into playoff superstardom? You know what else is wild? The Lakers have quietly become one of the top 10 teams in three-point shooting percentage over the last month. You're seeing Reeves light it up, Rui continues to scorch the nets, and even Luka, who has historically been a bit streaky, is shooting it with confidence. If this continues into the playoffs, it completely changes the calculus for opponents. This isn't a team you can just pack the paint against anymore. And defensively, they're trending up too. Since the trade deadline, they've been a top 5 team in defensive rating. A lot of people think of the Lakers as an offense-first team because of Luka and LeBron, but what Redick has emphasized, and what we're seeing play out, is commitment to team defense. Rotations are tighter. Closeouts are sharper. And the communication, night and day from what it was back in December. Let's talk about Luka for a second. The guy's putting up MVP numbers in a new uniform, with barely a learning curve. That speaks volumes. He's not just a scorer. He controls pace, dictates matchups, and creates for others. He's even crashing the boards more now. If you're a Lakers fan, you have to feel confident heading into a series knowing you've got Luka Doncic, a walking mismatch, running the show. One matchup I'm circling in bold is Luka versus Jaden McDaniels. McDaniels is one of the best on-ball defenders in the league, but Luka has the size and footwork to frustrate even elite defenders. This isn't just a battle of skills, it's going to be a mental chess match. And if Luka can force McDaniels into early foul trouble, it's going to open up everything for LA's offense. Now let's go a layer deeper. Don't be shocked if JJ Redick experiments with some three big lineups. I'm talking Kleber, Rui, and LeBron, all on the floor together. It sounds unorthodox, but in a playoff series, especially against the Wolves, that length could be a nightmare to deal with. Switchability on defense, floor spacing on offense, and toughness across the board. And that brings us to something Redick's been preaching all season, positional versatility. There's no rigid 1 through 5 with this group. Luka can run the offense as a nominal point guard, but Reeves can take over at times. LeBron plays anywhere from 2 to 5. Guards wings and bigs. It's a puzzle for opponents. The Lakers' flexibility might just be their biggest weapon. Another guy I want to highlight is Dorian Finney-Smith. He doesn't get the headlines, but he does everything you want from a playoff glue guy. He hits threes, defends a high level, and plays within himself. Against a team like Minnesota, where perimeter defense is crucial, DFS could quietly swing a game or two in the series just with hustle and timely buckets. And don't overlook what a fresh LeBron can do. The fact that he's had time to rest and recover, and now looks to be fully healthy, is terrifying for the rest of the West. We've seen playoff LeBron before. He calculates every possession. He controls momentum. And now that he doesn't have to carry the offense for 40 minutes a night, you're going to see him save that extra burst for the moments that matter. Let's also keep our eyes on Rui Hachimura. This is a guy who stepped up in last year's postseason, and he looks even better now. The confidence is there. The shooting touch is real. And in a matchup against a big physical front line like Minnesota's, his strength and footwork are going to be vital. He might be the X factor when the series tightens up in the fourth quarters. Back to Maxi Kleber for a moment. If he does return during the playoffs, you're not asking him to play 30 minutes. You're asking him to give you 10 to 12 high IQ, high-effort minutes, stretch the floor, maybe hit a corner three, hold his ground defensively. That could be the difference in a series that comes down to role players and momentum shifts. We've talked a lot about what the Lakers have, but let's also talk about what the Timberwolves don't have: deep playoff experience. Gobert and McDaniels, they're all great players, but they haven't been in a deep run yet. Compare that to LeBron, Luka, and even DFS, guys who've played under the brightest lights. When things get tight in Game 5, Game 6, that matters. And I think a lot of fans are sleeping on JJ Redick as a coach. This guy was made for the playoffs. He sees matchups in real time, he makes quick adjustments, and he trusts his players. There's no rigid system, it's adaptable basketball. You saw it when they played Boston and made that second-half comeback. That was all Redick pulling the right levers. Also, I wouldn't be surprised if we see some early full-court pressure from the Lakers. They've done it in spurts lately, Reeves and Luka applying pressure, forcing turnovers, getting into transition. It's risky, but it disrupts rhythm. And against a team like Minnesota, which can get stagnant in the half-court, that's a weapon worth deploying. And speaking of behind the scenes, sources close to the team have hinted that the front office is unusually active, even this late in the season. Not in terms of trades, obviously, but in gathering intel. They're scouting potential second-round matchups. They're prepping analytics packages for coaching adjustments. They've even reportedly assigned one analytics team to study how Kleber could be integrated if he's cleared by Game 5. That's how much they're thinking ahead. It's not just about surviving this round. It's about winning the whole thing. And that kind of preparation, that attention to detail, that's what separates real contenders from playoff participants. Another element to keep in mind, the vibe around Luka Doncic has changed drastically over the past few weeks. Early on, there were growing pains. That's expected when you go from being the sole engine of an offense to sharing the floor with LeBron and AD. But according to coaches, Luka has embraced the challenge, and he's evolving. There's been a shift in his shot selection, a conscious effort to let the game come to him. And when he does take over, it's devastating. He's no longer putting up empty stats. He's controlling games, dictating tempo, manipulating defenses. And now, in this new ecosystem, he's doing it with support around him. That's a scary thought for any team facing LA. I can't wait to read your thoughts in the comments below. You guys always bring the smartest takes and the best energy. I'll be down there reading and responding like always. Let's keep the conversation going. This is our community. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to Lakers News Fan Report, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update. We're bringing you new content every single day during the playoffs, breaking news, analysis, speculation, and everything in between. Your support means the world, and we're just getting started. This is the most exciting time of the year. Let's go, Lakers Nation. We'll see you in the comments.